Alright. Alright. How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Lamed Beis, Daf 32 of Masechta Kiddushin. Friends. Friends, we're going weiter, Kibud of Ein Betzim. Shtickle focus, shtickle on Mora, but Oichit Kibud. Alright. We're going to start in Daf Lamed Aleph Lamed Beis, 3 lines from the bottom at the 2 dots. Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Ezu Mora ve'ezu Kibud. What is fear and what is honor? Mora lo omid b'mkomo. Make sure I turned off the... Mora lo omid b'mkomo. So fear is that don't stand in his place. Rashi says, lo omid b'mkomo kilu, don't become like part of his friendship circle. If he's got his people that he hangs out with and his clubs that he's part of, so don't interfere. What does Rashi say? The place where his father, it's special for his father, lamod sham besod zkenim, to be there with the other elders and chaver be'etza and advice. Don't all of a sudden come stepping on his toes. Don't sit in his place. Don't contradict him. Don't be in a situation where there's a discussion between your father and somebody else, and you're going to decide who's right. Kibud, when it comes to honoring, ma'achil mashke, feed, drink, malbish, machase, clothe, machnes umotzi, bring out, bring in. Ibalu, that's a kash, Michelle, me. Who's got to fund? Who's got to fund all these activities? Who's got to fund all the food and all the drink? Rav Yehuda, my Michel Ben. Rav Yehuda says that the son has to foot the bill. Rav Nosson bar Rashaya Omar Michel Ov. Whereas Rav Nosson bar Rashaya says the father, meaning the son's got to do it, but the father's got to pay for it. Where am I? Orule Rabbanon, the Rav Yirmiyah. So the rabbis taught, sort of ruled for Rav Yirmiyah. V'amila levrei Rav Yirmiyah. Some taka say Rav Yirmiyah's son. Commander Amar Michel Av. Commander Amar who says that the father needs to foot the bill. The son runs the errands, but the father pays for them. Maybe we have a kasha. Right? We just said the father foots the bill, but we have a kasha. Nemer kabed es avicha ve'esimecha. The pasuk says kabed es avicha ve'esimecha. Honor one's father and mother. V'ne'emar kabed es Hashem me'onecha. Honor the Eibishter from your wealth. So let's say that just like Kabed Hashem mehonecha is from your money, you spend money. So oichit by Kabed Esavicha Vesimecha, it's oichit. You have to spend your own money. So v'i amart Mishel of my nafkale mine. But if you're saying that the father is the one footing the bill, so then what does that mean that you're honoring your father? Right? It says honor your father for money. If it's his own money, then that's not the point. The point is it sounds like it should be your own money. So and for the Gemara, levito melacha. Well, time is money. Meaning, maybe the father needs to foot the bill, but the son is spending the day running errands and he's not able to work. So in that sense, it's still kabedis. You're still spending your, time is money. And so it could be that the father foots the bill, but the son puts in the time. Toshma, come in here. Beis achim, if you have 2 brothers, shnei shutfin, or 2 partners, ha'avavno, a father and son, ha'rav tamido, a master, a teacher and his Talmud. Podin zeloze meiser sheni. Okay, like we've seen recently, right? Meiser sheni, of course. The second tithe, you schlep to Yerushalayim. If you don't want to schlep it to Yerushalayim, you can transfer the value onto money and bring the money to Jerusalem. And when you transfer it to money, you add a chomesh. You add technically 25%. You add a chomesh. So if you don't want to add the chomesh, you can have somebody else be podeh for you. So we're saying either even 2 brothers, 2 partners, a father and son, a teacher and a student, people who are very close to each other, still they can be podeh without having to pay a chomish. And they could feed one another meiser ani, right? If they're poor, so they could use, right? So if the father is poor and the son has meiser ani, he could feed his father with it. V'amart Mishal Ben, and if you're going to say like Rav Yehuda says, which is that the son needs to foot the bill, then that's a shtickle lame. The son needs to feed his father, and he's using meiser ani to do that. Nimtza ze poreach chov Mishal anim. He's basically, acting upon his obligation, fulfilling his obligation to feed his father by chopping meiser ani away from the anim. So lo tzricha lehaidafe. To which Shigmar says, no, it's not that big of a deal. It's talking about haidafe, meaning, the ikar chiyuv that the son has to feed his father. So that is, that is not going to be from meiser ani. That would be, he's got to, according to Yehuda, he's got to go to the store and buy food for his father. But if his father's got a big appetite, and even after eating he's still hungry, so then you can use the meiser ani for that. If that's the case, is then how do you understand Rabbi Yehuda, what Rabbi Yehuda taught? That a curse shall befall a fellow who feeds his father meiser ani. And if we're just talking about that he's doing it for, the father's still hungry for the extra stuff, he already went to the store and paid his own money to buy his father's meal, but his father's still hungry, so he's using meiser ani for that. My nafka mina. Why should that be such a cursed, wretched thing to do? So but even so, it's still, not nice that a fellow is feeding his father with meiser ani. He kind of zila b'milsa cheapens the experience of shtickle. Tashma, come in here. Shalu es Rabbi Eliezer. They asked Rabbi Eliezer, Mistam Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus, Areichon kibra va'em. To what extent? Tell us, about kibra va'em. Amiloim, he says to them, Kidei sheyitol arniki v'yizrekenu layom b'fon avenu machlima. You know what kibra va'em is? That a father takes his wallet. The shaila is we'll talk about whose wallet in a second, and he throws it into the sea, and he doesn't get upset. The Amart Mishal of my nafkale mine. And if you're going to tell me that the kibbut of aim, that honoring your father is with your father's own money, and the son doesn't have the obligation, and his father's be'etzim throwing his own money into the sea, so then who actually cares? Right? If we're saying that kibbut of aim is dafka with the money of the father, and we're saying to what extent is kibbut of aim, and we're saying to the extent that the father takes a wallet and throws it into the sea, whose wallet are we talking about? Well, it's not talking about the son's wallet. Right? If you say that it's with the father's wallet, so we're not talking about the son's wallet in the context of kibbut of aim. So the father is throwing his own wallet into the sea, and the husband's not, and the son's not getting upset. Who cares? It's not his money. So well, it kind of, in a sense, is his money because he would inherit his father, and now he doesn't have that money. Like that of Rabbi Bar Huna, the Rav Huna, Korashiroi Banpei Rabbi Brei. The Rav Huna had some beautiful silk garments, and he tore them in front of Rabbi Bar Huna, his son. Omar, Rav Huna said, Ezul Echzi Irosach Ilarosach, I'll see if Rabbi Bar Huna, if my son Rabbi gets upset or not. V'duma Rosach v'kavar alif neiva lo sitin michshol. Perfect. One second, how could Rav Huna do that? After all, if Rabbi Bar Huna, if his son Rabbi gets upset, that would be, you can't get upset at his father. That's not okay. It would be lo sitin, right? So therefore, how could Rav Huna be setting up his son to be in a position where he might get upset at his father? It's the fnei lo sitin michshol. Don't put a stumbling block in front of the blind. No, it's not such a big deal because Rav Huna milichatchila had already been mochel, and he said, saying it's okay if I'm not. It's not a problem. It won't be dishonor. I won't be dishonored if Rabbi Rav Huna gets upset. I'm just looking to test him and to learn. Okay, but what about batashchis? You're wasting these beautiful silk garments. That's a problem. No, he teared them on the seams. So it wasn't actually ruining them, you could just sew them back together. But maybe then that's not really a fair test, right? Rav Huna was testing his son Rabbi Bar Huna to see if he would get upset when his father tears these garments. And we're saying, but he tore them on the seams where it didn't really make a difference anyways, it wouldn't actually ruin them. So it's not really a significant test to see if his son would get upset or not. Maybe he didn't get upset because he didn't actually ruin the garments. Yeah, but Rav Huna did it at a time when somebody was upset. I guess maybe when his son was upset. So therefore it was already a situation where he was upset, and therefore, if he were to get upset for doing this, so then the fact that it was on the seam, I guess, wouldn't have been noticed as much, right? I mean, if it was just like a normal day, whatever, and he tore some garments on the seam, so I guess maybe there wouldn't be much to get upset about. But I guess if he was upset already, or he was worked up about something, and then Rav Huna tore these things on the seams, that would, I guess, be a decent indication to understand if Rabbi Bar Huna would get upset about this. Friends, what time is it? It's 6 in the morning. I don't usually record at 6 in the morning. I wanted to make another coffee, but I didn't want to take the time to make another coffee. I'll tell you, I'm shtickle tired. So I feel like I'm like having to put in a little more effort to explain, like the concepts aren't coming to my brain as smoothly as they normally do. But hopefully I'm getting the point across. Masnu le Rav Yecheskel Rami Brei. Rav Yecheskel taught to his son Rami. And so Rav Yecheskel was Rav Yehuda's father, Rav Yehuda bar Yecheskel, and I guess his brother was Rami. I can't remember. Like, we've seen Rav Yehuda's brother before, and I was trying to remember: is it Rami? Does he have another brother? I can't remember. Anyways, here we're talking about his brother Rami. Okay, Masni le Rav Yecheskel Rami Brei. So Rav Yehuda's father, Rav Yecheskel, was teaching his son, Rav Yehuda's brother Rami, Hanisrofim bin Iskol, that if you have a fellow who is chayiv sreifa, to be burnt, we're talking about capital offenses here, capital punishments, and he gets mixed up with a bunch of people who are chayiv skila, and now we don't know who's chayiv what punishment. Now, it's important to point out, to note the machlokas Masechta Sanhedrin between the Chacham and Reb Shimon. The Chacham said that the most severe of the capital punishments is who knows? Who could tell me? Skila. Reb Shimon disagrees and says it's Sreifa. So according to Reb Shimon, the most severe of the capital offenses is Sreifa. According to Chacham, it's Skila. Now, so Rav Yecheskel was teaching his son Rami, Hanisofim bin Iskolim, that if you have a fellow who's chayiv Sreifa, and he gets mixed together with a bunch of people, one fellow who's chayiv Sreifa gets mixed together with a bunch of people that are chayiv Skila. Reb Shimon Omer, so says Reb Shimon, Yadonu b'skila. So all of them get skila. Shasreifa chamura, because sreifa, according to Reb Shimon, is the most severe one. Skila is less severe. And look, we can't give them all sreifa, which is more severe, because we have to give them the lowest common denominator, which is skila. Now it chimes in Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda now says Rav Yehuda. So Rav Yehuda says to his father, what? Rav Yehuda Brei. Rav Yehuda, his son, says to his father, Rav Yecheskel, Abba, lotus nayachi, don't teach it like this. My irya sreifa chamura, typically the Ruben Eskalim ninu. If we're saying that one fellow who's chayiv sreifa gets mixed together with a whole bunch of people that are chayiv skila, Reb Shimon is saying that he's chayiv, that they all get skila because it's the lowest common denominator. Let's say that they all get skila because that's the majority. One sreifanik got mixed together with a bunch of skilaniks, so they should all get skila because that's the majority, not because it's the lowest common denominator. Elohachi yisnaye. Rather, says Rav Yehuda, teach it like this: Haniskolim bin Israfim, that if a skilanik gets mixed together with a whole bunch of sreifaniks, even so, Reb Shimon would say that he would get skila, even though the majority is Sreifa nicks, but they would all get skila because that's the lowest common denominator. Amr lei, to which Rav Yechezkel responds to his son Rav Yehuda, Yachi, if that's the case, Emo Seifa, but what about the Seifa? V'chachamim omrim, the Chachamim say, Yadonu b'Sreifa, that in this case, they all get Sreifa, She'as skila chamura, because skila is more chamura, and Sreifa is the lowest common denominator, is less stringent, so we give everybody Sreifa, which is the lowest common denominator. My area the skila chamura, typically, the Reuben is nisrafim ninu. So if Yechezkel responds to Rav Yehuda and he says, yeah, but then the same question that you're asking about the Rov, wouldn't you then just say ask the same kasha against the Chachamim and the Seifa, who say that in this case, when it's a skilanik who gets mixed in with a bunch of streifaniks, the Chachamim say that they all get Sreifa because skila is more stringent and Sreifa is less stringent, but they should all get Sreifa because it's the Rov. So Amalei Rav Yehuda says, no, don't ask me kashas from the Seifa. Hasam in the Seifa, Rabbanu de Ka'amrele, the rabbis were just responding to Reb Shimon de Ka'amar Sreifa Chamura. You say that Sreifa is Chamura, actually lo skila Chamura. All they were responding to is not the, saying that in this particular situation you get skila because they would get Sreifa because skila is more Chamura, Sreifa is less Chamura. They were just responding to the fact that Reb Shimon had said that Sreifa is more Chamur. They were just disagreeing and saying, no, skila is actually more Chamur. Amar lei Shmuel Rav Yehuda. So now Shmuel says to Rav Yehuda, Shinina lo teima leila avu chachi. Don't speak to your father like that. His father Rav Yechezkel was teaching a brisa to his son Rami, and Rav Yehuda then goes, don't teach it like that. Rav Yehuda, so Shmuel says to Rav Yehuda, Shinina, sharp one. Don't speak to your father like that. The Tanya is within the Brisa. If a fellow's father was violating the words of the Holy Torah, Al Yomarlo, a fellow should not say to his father, Abba, avarta al divrei Torah. Father, you violated the words of the Holy Torah. Don't say that. Omer lo, what he says to him is, Abba, kach kosuv b'Torah. This is what's written in the Holy Torah. Kach kosuv b'Torah tzarich mitzareh. What do you mean by saying this is what's written in the Holy Torah, the opposite of what you're doing? He's going to feel bad, the father. Omer lo, you should say to him, Abba, mikra kosuv b'Torah kach. You should know, not judging or anything, but there is a pasuk that says XYZ. And I guess the point is that he'll kind of figure it out, like on his own. Like, oh, I see. Alright, interesting stuff. Elazar ben Masyo, Omer, it says Elazar ben Masyo. Abba Omer Ashkini Moyim. If a fellow's father says, bring me some water, my young lad, mitzvah la'asos, but there's also a mitzvah to do. Maniach ani kvod Abba, I should put aside getting water for my father, mitzvah, and instead I should prioritize doing the mitzvah. She'ani ve'abba chayavim b'mitzvah, because at the end of the day, both me and my father are both chayav in doing that mitzvah. So let me do the mitzvah that we're both chayav in. And I guess even my father is chayav to do this mitzvah, so therefore it gets priority. Where am I? Isi ben Yehuda Omer says, Isi ben Yehuda. Look, if other people could do the mitzvah, let them do the mitzvah, and he should go be mechabed his father. Although it sounds like, but if not, so then he should do the mitzvah. Amr of Masna, Halacha Isi ben Yehuda says of Masna that Halacha is take like Isi ben Yehuda. Amr of Yitzchok says Rabbi Yitzchok Bar Shila, okay. His name is Rabbi Yitzchak Parshila, Amr of Masna, Amr of Chizda. That if a father wants to be mochel on his kavod, he can. He can be mochel on his kavod. He won't be particular about his own honor. However, if a teacher, if a Talmud Chacham wants to be mochel on his kavod, he can't. He can't do that. Rav Yosef says, Rav Yosef, afilo Rav shemochel akvodo kvodo mochel. Whereas Rav Yosef says, no, even if a Talmud Chacham, if a teacher wants to be mochel on his kavod, he can. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Vashem holich lifneim yomam, that the Eibishter was walking before them. And I guess if the Eibishter was going to be mochel on his cover to be with the people, so then Talmid Chacham can be mochel on his cover. Amar Rava says, Rava achi ashta asam HaKadosh Baruch Hu alma dilehu v'torah dilehu mochel elikari. To which Rava says, 1 second, but it's different. The Eibishter, that the Torah is his, the world is his, everything is his. So he's in a position where he could call the shots. He's in a position where he could decide, you know what, I want to be mochel on my cover. But when it comes to Talmid Chacham, why are we honoring the Talmid Chacham? Because we're honoring the Torah. The Talmid Chacham doesn't own the Torah for him to be saying, no, it's okay, I'm going to be mochel. We're not giving you the honor, we're giving the Torah the honor, what you represent, which is the Torah, and it's not your position to be mochel on the honor of the Torah. But then Rava thought again, and he says, in Torah Dilehi, actually the Torah does become the Talmid Chacham's Dichsid, as the pasuk says, Uvsaraso Yeger Yom V'Layla. Right? If you look at the pasuk, it says, Ki b'Torah Hashem Chefzo. I'm reading from the pasuk that a fellow he desires the Torah of Hashem, like us, like the people at Babylon Talmud. We desire the Torah of God. Uvsaraso Yeger Yom V'Layla, and Uvsaraso, and it says his Torah. That when a Talmid Chacham would say, calls it his Torah, so it does become his. Once he learns it, it becomes his. So if it's his, he can be mochel on his covet. But is that really so? That Rava says that a Rav can be mochel on his covet? Rava was the Sarah Mashkim at his son's chasana. Rava was going around making sure everybody got fashnikit. At the very least made a l'chaim to the chasen kala. Vidale kasa, the Rapapa, the Rafuna Beit of Yeshua, and he poured a cup, let's say a cup of wine. According to Rava, what was it? Rava's opinion, it says any wine that doesn't require, 2 parts water to 1 part wine to dilute it, it's not a good wine. Anyways, hopefully he was giving them nice, strong, starker wine. Vikamu mikame, and they stood up for Rava, showed him honor, showed him kavod. The Rav Mari, the Rav Pinchas, Beit Rav Chisda, when he poured for Rav Mari and Rav Pinchas, the sons of Rav Chisda, they didn't get up for him. Ikbid, and Ravi got upset. V'marhanu Rabbanon, Banu Rabbanon, Lav Rabbanon, and they said to Rav Mari and Rav Pinchas, the sons of Rav Chisda, what? You guys don't stand up because you're great rabbis, whereas Rav Papa and Rav Funabed of Yeshua stood up because they're not such great rabbis, so they could stand up. So meaning what? You guys, you think so highly of yourselves? So it sounds like Rava was getting upset. He wasn't mochel on his covet. Visu, and another time, Rav Papa Abba Mashke Beilula Abba Mar Brei. Rav Papa was a Sarah Mashkim at his son's chasana. Vidalile Kasa Rav Yitzchak Brei of Yehuda, and he poured a cup of maybe Rav Papa was pouring beer. He was in the beer geschäft. Anyways, whatever it was, he was pouring a cup for Rav Yitzchak Brei of Yehuda. V'lo kam mikam, Rav Yitzchak Brei of Yehuda did not get up, and he got upset. No, so this implies that sounds like Rav can that a Talmid Chacham cannot be mochel on his covet. Rav and Rav Papa, they both got upset. They were makbid on their covet. So afilochi hider me'abed lebo. No, you can say that. Look, a Rav can be mochel on his covet, but still you should do epis. A hider. What does Rashi say? Hider is lanua ma'at ki'ilu rotzalamon miparav. You know what I'm talking about. The pretend get up. The make minimum effort to kind of pretend like you are going to get up, but then sit back down. You know what I'm talking about? The little movement to indicate, oh wow, there's chashav, a mensch over here. Let me sort of indicate that they are deserving to get up, but I'm not actually gonna, fully stand up erect. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, right? Just the little nudge, the little stand up nudge. Maybe not even an inch off the seat. You know what I'm saying? Let's go weiter. Ashi says of Ashi, now even according to opinions, even according to those who hold that a Talmid Chacham can be mochel on his kavod, Nosi shemachal akvodo ein kvodo mochel, but the Nosi cannot be mochel on his kavod. Meisvei, but we have a kasha. Ma'aseh Reb Eliezer, Reb Yeshua, Reb Tzadok. There was a Maise with Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, and Rabbi Tzadik. Shoy Mesubin bebeis Mishta beno Shoy Rabbi Gamliel. That they were at Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel, of course, was the Nasi. They were at Rabbi Gamliel's son's Chasana. But Rabbi Gamliel omedu mashke aleim, and Rabbi Gamliel was the Sar Mashkim. Nasan akos Rabbi Eliezer, so he gave a cup to Rabbi Eliezer. V'lo notla. Rabbi Eliezer would not take it. Right? You can't accept something from the Nasi. It's not respectful. Nasna Rabbi Yeshua v'kibla. Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya accepted the mashke. Omer lo, Rabbi Eliezer. So Rabbi Eliezer says to Rabbi Yeshua, Maze Yeshua, on Yoshvin, Rabbi Gamliel Bribi, Omed, Umashka Aleinu. I don't understand. What is this? We're just sitting here, and Rabbi Gamliel the Nasi is serving us mashke. Amalei, Rabbi Yeshua says, why not? Matzinu gadol b'menu sheshimesh. I'll give you a raya from somebody greater than Rabbi Gamliel who was serving the people. Avram, our holy father Abraham, gadol ador haya. He was the gadol ador. B'chasav bo, and it says in the pasuk, v'hu omer alein, that he was waiting on these people who came to visit him, who came to his tent. Maybe say, that's different, they were angels. They didn't look like angels, they looked like Arabs. And still, Avraham Avinu, the Gadol Ador, was taking care of them. So it says Rabbi Yeshua, it's okay that Rabbi Gamliel is serving us mashke. And Reb Tzadik chimes in and he says, look, you're talking about Avraham Avinu, you're talking about Rabbi Gamliel. What about the Eibishter? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mashiv Ruchis, Umayli Nisim. The Eibishter blows the winds and brings up the mists, Umorid Motor, and the rain, Umatzmeach Adome, and plants and vegetation. And he organizes the table before all the people. The Eibishter does all this for us. I think it's okay if Rabbi Gamliel gives us shtickle mashke. Eli Itmar, Achi Itmar, rather state Rav Ashi's statement like this. Amar Rav Ashi says, Rav Ashi, afilu man damer nasi shemachal al kvodo kvodo machil. Even according to the opinion, it says that a nasi can be mochel on his kovid, like Rabbi Gamliel was. Melech shemachal al kvodo ein kvodo machil. If a king is mochel on his kovid, he can't be mochel on his kovid. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, som tasim alecha melech, shetei masu alecha, that you shall surely place upon yourselves a king, that his fear should be upon you. Friends, should we stop here or should we go weiter? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Maybe let's stop here. Let's stop here because, this now starts a new sugya. It feels like, these dafs recently, a few dafs recently, there's been like, it starts like a big sugya, then it goes on for a while. So we're going to have a big sugya for a while. So let's stop here and we'll pick up from here tomorrow. So friends, that was the Avlam Beis of Masechta Kiddushin. We talked about Kibur Aveim, Machlokes, who has to pay for it, the father or the son, and then we're talking about Av Shemachal Kvodo Kvodo Machul, Harav Shemachal Kvodo Nasi Melech. Interesting stuff, friends. That was the Avlam Beis of Masechta Kiddushin. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.